Good night, TDN listeners and viewers, and especially the audience of This Week in Interview. Welcome to this episode of This Week in Interview with your host and guide, Anthony Drago. It's a pleasure to be here with you as usual on a Wednesday. Not only is it the middle of the week and it all goes downhill from here, but it's also the night that I get to spend an hour or so with you as the host of This Week in Interview. And as I told you, being the host of This Week in Interview has granted me such privilege to have conversations with folks who have achieved so much, who are doing so much. And because by virtue of their training, by virtue of their expertise, by virtue of their interest, I get to interact with them and I get to share those conversations with you. And that is usually on most weeks, that's usually the highlight of my week. So, as usual, it's a pleasure to be here. Welcome back to my regular listeners. I appreciate you coming back Wednesday after Wednesday for so many years now. Really appreciate your time and the dedication that you show and your support. And if tonight is the first time that you're listening to this weekend interview, a very hearty welcome to you as well. I hope you like the discussion that you have, that you hear. I hope you like the way we have the program running, and you too. I can entice you to become a regular listener to this weekend interview. I have three guests tonight, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the introductions. Uh, Tonight we are talking about giving back. We are talking about institutions that play a significant role in molding us in our developmental stage and play such a great role in the person that we are, in the men that we are, and the women that we are right now. And because of that, we feel that some kind of obligation, or but not just an obligation to say that we feel like it's a burden that we carry, but we do feel that it's a privilege that we've gained so much and that we can give back. And what am I talking about specifically tonight? The St. Mary's Academy is one of the premier and long lasting secondary schools in Dominica. It's an all boys secondary school. And it's been around for a while. So has its building, and it has endured many storms and hurricanes and that sort of thing. And so sometimes in those situations, we get what you might refer to as deferred maintenance. Sometimes we get catastrophic um, damage, and that needs attention. And we know schools generally around the world, unless they are really private and upscale schools, they struggle with budget. And so that's the case that the St. Mary's Academy has found itself in, that there is an urgent need to pay attention to some level of disrepair in the physical structure of the school. And so a few of the past students, the alumni of the school, has turned back and focused their attention on their alma mater. And they've created an organization called SMA, St. Mary's Academy Alumni Infrastructure and Development. It's AID, yeah, and Development Fund. And they're looking to raise funds and also not just raise funds, but to lend the technical capabilities to in ensuring some of this repair is taken care of, so that the young men who are currently being educated at that institution and the future ones to come can find an environment that is conducive to learning. And so I have three of the members of that organization on tonight as my guests. And I'm going to bring them on and give them a very warm welcome to this week in interview, Mr. Ackroyd Birmingham, Mr. Rennick Thomas, and Mr. Miguel Murphy. They are part of the SMA AIDF. Well, it's SMA Alumni Infrastructure and Development Fund Incorporated. They actually, you can see SMA taught them well. They actually went ahead and created a legal structure so that they can be accountable to all the stakeholders as to what they're doing and how they're going to track it. You can see the seriousness of these young men. And they, when we heard about it, we reached out to them, and they were gracious enough to take time out of their busy schedule to spend some time with us to educate us on the initiative that they're undertaking, and to also solicit your contribution, your support, your assistance in their endeavor to make sure that then St. Mary's Academy can be around for many more years, and continue to be producing the stellar young men that it has produced so far. So let me not waste any more of our time, and I'm going to introduce this gentleman to you one at a time. I'm going to start with Mr. Ackroyd Birmingham. He is the chairman of the committee, the SMA Alumni Infrastructure and Development Fund. Ackroyd, welcome to this week in interview. I'm going to give you a moment to introduce yourself, give a little background. Most people know who you are. I'm pretty sure you're aware of that. Most people were from Dominica, but we don't have only Dominicans in the audience. But most people know who you are. So give a little introduction as to who you are. You can spend a little bit of time. We'll have time during the hour, but talk about the St. Mary's Academy, and also introduce the initiative that brings you onto this week in interview tonight.
Ackroyd Birmingham, chairman of the finance committee. I attended St. Mary's Academy, graduated. Well, at that time, we didn't have graduation. we, just, we just tell the boys, hey, I'll see you when I see you.
Mm-hmm.
Graduated the last day, then we went off for about 2 weeks to prepare for GCE, and no graduation. So that's okay. I mean, as a matter of fact, of all my studies, I've never attended any other of my own graduations, because I just say, hey, I didn't graduate at SMA, so hey, that's okay. Anyway, I left SMA in 1973, and I must say that at St. Mary's Academy, I was pretty involved in St. Mary's Academy. I was the director of the first cooperative at St. Mary's Academy. I was responsible for ringing the school bell, third form, fourth form, fifth form, and I didn't have a watch. Can you imagine that? I was responsible for ringing the school.
So we used to take every time.
Hey, well, I don't know, there were some rich guys at the St. Mary's Academy, and they had watches. So I would say, okay, today is your, well, when I would say before the next day, I would say, after the last bell ring, 1 o'clock, I would say, this is your turn, is to ring the bell tomorrow. You mess up, you will never ring again. Okay? So they had to be punctual, to be on time. And I was also a cadet. When I left St. Mary's Academy, I was the officer in charge of the St. Mary's Academy cadet corps, the unit at that time, because we had the Dominica cadet program with the SMA Grammar School and Youth Camp. So we were not individuals anymore. We were part of a bigger structure. One of the things SMA taught me was to be punctual. I attended SMA for 5 years, and I was never once late. I did not miss one day of schooling. At that time, I lived in Massac at that time. And that time we had truck, not bus, truck. And once you miss the truck, hey, that's it for you. So SMA taught me to be punctual. And even today, some people call me the Russian, because I like to get things done and done. I don't waste time. That's what SMA taught me, and it has treated me well in my daily life. So, and also, you may remember that at SM we had an upheaval at one time, and I was part of that committee, because there were some things going on at the school. Nothing to do with the Christian Brothers. Let me make that very clear. Nothing to do with Black Power either. Some people accuse us of being Black Power. I was never a member of the Black Power movement in Dominica. I had my issues with the Black Power movement. It wasn't about the Christian Brothers, but there were some other issues. Some people were trying to control the school through other means, and we couldn't take that. So we marched to the ministry, and things were changed. And it changed for the better. As a matter of fact, the Christian Brothers returned afterwards. So it wasn't against the Christian Brothers. So I want to make that very clear tonight. Okay. So I was part of the organizing committee to get this thing working. And, so SMA has taught me to be an organizer as well, to take responsibility. I've always had leadership position after I left St. Mary's Academy. I went to England. I did very well in England, came back to Dominica, did very well. Now I'm in the US and doing very well. So very well doesn't mean having lots of money, okay? It does mean being contented with what you do and being able to pass on information and knowledge to other persons. And I credit all of that to St. Mary's Academy. When I returned to Dominica, people say, "Oh, you came from England." I said, no. Whatever I learned, it was enhanced when I went to England. But the foundations of morality, ethics, and in particular, let me say this, we need to bring some type of program on ethics. And if we can set up SMA doing that, that is something which we intend to do as well. So that is it for me. And I will stop here and allow my other colleagues to carry the baton.
Very, very good opening over, so to speak. I don't know if you were a cricketer in SMA. But we'll go to Mr. Thomas, Mr. Renick Thomas. Welcome, very warm welcome to you. It's a pleasure to have you on. I will give you the same opportunity to introduce yourself, talk about the school, talk about anything that SMA related at the moment.
Let me say good evening to you and thanks for affording me the opportunity, or us the opportunity.
You're very welcome.
And to speak about the foundation that laid us as men of St. Mary's go forth to praise thee evermore. And that's something that I hold dearly to my heart. And one of the things that I enjoy about SMA is the fact of its Christian values, integrity, ethics, morals, and discipline. And that is one of the key things that's been lacking in today's society. But as I proceed, I came into SMA just when Brother German took over. So I consider myself to be an olive branch stemming from Brother German era. And it was quite fitting to enter SMA during that period after that situation, as Akroy mentioned, the chaos or turmoil period. Mm-hmm. However, even before I got into SMA as a student, my heart and soul, my foundation was already in SMA. I did not wear the crest and the tie like other students, but the reason for saying that is because my mom, whose name is Miss Murray, that's a household name in SMA for students within the period 1960 to the late 1970s, knew all. And I credit SMA to that value because, we were not affluent people. So my mother made delicacies to go out there and feed the school children at break. So I had to go there and really bring that food to the children. It's like throwing bread on water, and then it returns with great reward. Mm-hmm. So that helped me sustain my education because the little remittances that we receive, I had to use that, to pay for the books, to pay for the school fees and what. So in every aspect, I look at it as a situation of gratitude. I got a great deal of benefits getting to SMA. And if I have to take it to extension, even on a Sunday, we would go to the hostel and sell bread pudding at the SMA hostel in order to just, again, get funds to keep the family alive and well. So a lot has been given to us back from SMA, and I take that period with extreme gratitude to return the favors, not like going out there and selling stuff, but to offer an opportunity for kids who need to be at a high school, given an opportunity to thrive and to develop themselves for a brighter future. We had a household of 7 boys, and 5 of us went to SMA. All my kids went to SMA. So the SMA stem, the branches, it just keep flowing. And I will always say, once it comes from Brother German, that's it all. And the main reason for getting involved into that project is when they had decided to build that extra wing to accommodate students. At that time, I was still resident in Dominica. I took on my own and sold 150 magazines because, as I initially explained, we were not a fluent people. So again, my contribution was to go out there, get the booklets, and go sell it to the public in order to generate funds and to make my contribution. At that end, I think I will end here as we proceed further. Thank you.
So you're a salesman.
Well, that's why I'm the chairman of the networking committee. I just
That's
like to
awesome.
network and get things going.
That's awesome. Salesman, entrepreneur. Get
Yeah,
from young, huh? Even pre-high school.
you got it.
That's awesome. That's great. Great to meet you,
Thank you.
Renick. All right. We have Miguel Murphy. Um, welcome. Warm welcome to you as well. I will give you the opportunity also to introduce yourself and to talk about St. Mary's Academy, your time there, I guess.
Yes, thank you. Good evening to my colleagues here, to you, Anthony, all listening in Dominica and worldwide. So, Miguel Murphy, currently chair of the Marketing, Communications, and Social Media Committee for the St. Mary's Academy Alumni Infrastructural and Development Fund. So, I attended the Academy from 1992 to 1998. And, I come from a legacy of brothers, cousins, uncles. My dad all went to the academy. And, I think it was, in my case, inevitable that I had that experience. And that I am, you know, really, really grateful for. Uh, and the person that I am today, I must attribute it to those 5 years and some from the St. Mary's Primary before that
Hmm.
as well. So it kind of continued before um, formally going to the academy. What the academy has afforded me, and I'll sort of start now, mentors like Rennick and Ackroyd and Alvin. I mean, we're talking 6 decades of gentlemen that I can now, count on, in terms of advice and just being there. And I think that support goes a long way in, professionally and in my personal life. So I'm appreciative of these gentlemen here on the call with me and those on the committee. And I've been away, from Dominica in terms of physically since my graduation, but not, in sort of the spirit of being on island. And so every opportunity since my graduation in 1998, I've been back periodically on island. And one of the things that I do when I step on island is actually go visit the high school. So sometimes it's go visit it like a museum, you know, out of curiosity. Sometimes it's, you know, checking on my teachers, some of whom are still there today. Sometimes I get a tour. In 2015, our late principal, one of our late principals, Mr. Cuthbert Elwin, who was one of my, teachers, and actually in my final year of high school, he was my form teacher. So I was actually able to attend his homegoing celebration when I had visited the island there and had the opportunity to even speak to some of the current students at the time. Now, my classroom and this initiative, WA4, is actually the one that's offline. And, that is near and dear to me, seeing that space that, you know, afforded me the final year because I was there when that wing actually opened up and had an opportunity to fundraise as a student there. I mean, we went on Belmarches, and I remember being part of the fundraising mechanism to generate funds and being enthusiastic about that. Friendships. remain almost some 30 years later. So, Oren Jolly, Craig Bellet, Canon Zamo, some of them are Yoni Rivera. These are my classmates, and some of them are on island when I go back. They are family when they visit. I am currently in South Florida, where I currently serve as the executive director of student engagement and community partnerships for the nation's largest college, a community college with over 125 students. And so, when these gentlemen come to visit, and I visit, it's like we're still back in high school. So those friendships, the mentorships, in terms of, just discipline and professionalism, that's what I bring forth. Currently, I got that from the academy, and just faith and spirituality, which is very important. But I can go on and on about just, you know, what the institution has done for me, the island in itself, and the village that is. And I hail from the village of Maho. That's where I resided during my time at St. Mary's Academy, and my family hails from. So I'll stop here, and but definitely an honor to call to serve, and to be able to be an agent of just, put in our institution in a position where it can, sustain and empower um, the current generation and future generations. In terms, right now we're working on the building, but there's much more I think that we will be impacting as it relates to the academy and those that attend.
Of course. So thank you for that, gentlemen. Let me just see the folks who have commented so far. That's what I can see. Alvin Thomas is there, of course. He said, three great guys, SMA alumni, looking forward to hearing from you guys. Tony, SMA has been around 93 years in April 2025. He's making fun of me by calling you guys young men, but I only see young men in front of me. I don't know why Alvin find that funny. Maybe that's why he's still away from the panel, because maybe but my audience is very familiar with Alvin, so they know I can say anything. Didi Easter says, good evening, Mr. Drago, and your guest. Good evening, Didi, a regular long time listener. And Mary Benjamin says, good evening, Anthony Drago and gentlemen. Great initiative. Love alone. And of course, Mary would know about what you guys are trying to do. We all see her work that she does in the community. We're all very familiar with the work that she did with a young lady called Yellows, where she really reached out to her, showed compassion, and then really had an impact, a positive impact on not just on Yellows, but on all of us who sometimes walk past these people as we go along our business, almost as if they're invisible. And I think she had the impact of causing us to pause, and which is similar to the cause that we have right now. Um, as we go along our way in Roseau, it's very easy to rush past the St. Mary's Academy on our way to Dumlek or Dowasco or wherever we're going down that side, and not realize that here stands a humongous institution that has contributed so much to our community that is now crying out for our assistance. So that's what we are on about tonight, folks. To take a pause and to look back at what makes Dominica Dominica. And we would say that among those many other things that we consider, St. Mary's Academy would definitely be close to the top of the list in terms of the iconic institutions, iconic traditions that in the lives of Dominicans. Alvin also says it's 125,000 students. Is that from last count the number of folks who have graduated from St. Mary's Academy? I think that's maybe what he's talking about. So as we continue the conversation, and I'll have each of you guys, maybe start with Ackroyd, but I'm referring to the St. Mary's Academy, 93 years in the Dominican landscape, in 93 years producing young men, And I know nowadays we're very careful not to say men, we say women too, but St. Mary's Academy stands out because it is still an all boys school. And I think that is so important right now in Dominica. When I went to college in the 80s, and we used, because of the type of scholarship that I had, we used to fellowship with students from other islands. And my friends from Grenada and St. Vincent used to tease me and said that every island has a women's desk, but Dominica needs a men's desk because the women are busting our tail, to use a Dominican word. The women in Dominica seem to be overtaking the men and starting to run things. And so Dominica is to say Dominica needs a men's desk. And I mean, whatever perspective we take that from, we do see that there is a gap that is continuing to widen in the achievement of our young men in Dominica. And an institution like SMA that is dedicated solely to the development of young men, I believe has a great part to play in in the future, in the fortunes of our country going forward. So before we get into one of the things that's bringing us here in terms of letting people know the condition, the physical condition of the school, let's spend a little time talking about that, talking about the role that SMA has played, the role that it continues to play, and the need for it to be around for a long time, to play even a greater role as it reaches out into the community and touches a lot of those young men that needs to get that. Akron, I'm going to start with you. Let's just talk about the legacy and the future, the present of St. Mary's Academy.
Okay. When I attended school, there was the presumption that well, persons, boys going to SMA, we call them young men because we call ourselves young men attending SMA. That when we graduated, or even during school, we did certain things because swinging stars started at SMA,
Mm-hmm.
swinging stars band. Okay, and if you look at, we have musicians, a lot of musicians have come from SMA. I mean, if you look at them right now, you have Bob, King Dice, you have the Later brothers, you have
Chester, the Chester.
Chester Later and his cousin, Gordon Henderson. So we have a lot of musicians that have come from SMA. In addition to that, we have our doctors. Dr. McIntyre was an Ireland scholar. We have Dr. Paul was also an Ireland scholar.
Geoffrey Lafont.
Right. So we have had some in the field of like Raymond Lawrence in culture. Raymond Lawrence attended grammar school and SMA. Pierre Charles, his last couple of years, also attended SMA. We watched what SMA together, and we were bonded because my grandfather was from Granby, so we bonded very well. But SMA have produced a lot of men who have gone on to do various things. And the important thing is that we at SM, we are very humble men. We do not go about knocking our chests and say, we are so and so. We just go about doing what we're supposed to do for the benefit of mankind. Now, we can talk about the past is important. Excuse me. You talk about you think of the past to see what good you can do for the future. But the future right now is extremely important. As you rightly mentioned, that our men really in Dominica, we need to give them some encouragement, some more mentoring. And that has to start at the grassroots level. And we're thinking of SMA now, because one of the programs which we have mentioned in our discussion is on ethics. Because we need really to look at ethics. When I went to school, at primary school, we did ethics. At SMA, we did ethics, and this is Kelvin Cardinal Felix taught me sociology at SMA, and a lot of what he taught us was ethical behaviors and ethical standards. We have to look at mentoring the young men, not to inculcate in them our, our deep held beliefs, but to mentor them in such a way that they become good citizens, good fathers, good husbands, or if they want to be single, but to be there taking care of the others. Because remember, we are Christian school, we're a Catholic school, and so we have to. And no matter what you do in life, whether you believe in Christ or not, you have to go taking care of our fellow brothers and sisters. And that is one of these things we have to look at. Yes, we have to talk about the structure. It's important because if you haven't got the structure, the physical structure, then it becomes difficult to educate. Although when I went to Massacre, when in the afternoons, we had lunch at 12 and went back at 1:30 in the afternoon. We'd go under the tambourine tree or under the mango tree to have classes because it was so hot. It was so hot in the school, and it's a very small school in Massacre at that time. So, but now SMAs have always been from 8 to 1. So the school has to be, well maintained. It must be an environment where it's conducive to learning. And if you don't mind, if I just go quickly on the structure of the school, the physical structure, the roof was compromised. The Brother Egberjimmy roof was compromised by Hurricane Maria. That's 2017. And of course, since it hasn't been repaired, it is getting progressively worse. And the issue is, well, who's going to get it repaired? Well, the entire roof has to be taken off and a new roof put in. And we also say we're going to put insulation to make it, because the
cooler,
a bit cooler, some fans. So we want to make it comfortable for the kids, for the young men rather. So that is where we are now asking those of us who went to St. Mary's Academy, who benefited, and we can sit all night and talk about the benefits which we gain from SMA. We haven't got time to do that. What is our contribution? Remember, SMA was started by the Christian Brothers. The Christian Brothers from Canada put money into the school. Okay, they built the school for us. At the earliest stage, they provided financial support to pay the teachers. Now they have gone, and it is said that Dominica isn't a poor country based on the poverty scale of the world. Okay, so we have to begin to do things for ourselves and stop depending on others to give us. So we have gained from SMA. Yes, some of us may not be financially, we won't have all the finance we require, but we have to make a contribution, a financial contribution, so that we can get the roof replaced. And from thereafter, we have to start other programs, because the roof is one, but after the roof has been replaced, we need to continue on the program of succession planning, because I'm not a young man, you still looking young, but I am young, all right? So from the age of 10, I have been doing voluntary service at the age of 10, okay? And I've never stopped. So there comes a point where I don't want my brains to fry, but I have to give the young guys like Miguel to take the reins, okay? So we have to do succession planning. That all as part of our aim, to have succession planning longevity, so the school can continue.
All right. Thank you for that. Now we're right at the bottom of the hour. So before I go to Renick or Miguel, I'm going to take a quick break. Folks, if you joined us late, my guests tonight are the members of the St. Mary's Academy, Alumni, Infrastructural and Development Fund. And they've created an organization to reach back to their alma mater to help raise funds for the physical improvement of the school. And as you can hear from what they've said so far, the physical repair and restoration is just the first step. They will stay engaged and continue to make sure and enhance the other aspects of the education of the young men and women. men who attend the St. Mary's Academy. We take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Mr. Ackroyd Birmingham, Mr. Miguel Murphy, and Mr. Renick Thomas. Stay tuned.
Presented by
Looking to promote your business, engage current customers, and reach new people? Well, look no further. From the basic presentation to a fully fledged advertisement, use your video ads to attract customers. At Man's Audiovisual Productions, we do just that. We produce videos for business and event promotions, product demo videos, animated explainer videos, fundraiser ads, and much, much more. Engage your clients and sell online. We customize the video to match your brand design. Guaranteed to play flawless on all devices, including smart TVs. Contact us at telephone number 203-690-4342 or 767-245-6238. Visit our website, mansaudiovisual.com, or email us at derekvideo@gmail.com.
People say I've got a great smile. Well, I have to say, this is all thanks to the professional team at Beacon Dental Group right here in Dorchester, Massachusetts. I've got world-class dental care. Beacon Dental Group has expert and caring staff dedicated to providing the most advanced and satisfactory treatment in all aspects of oral health. Their services are designed to meet your needs and give you a perfect smile, too. General checkups, cosmetic surgery, Gemini laser service, and advanced procedures, all in a state-of-the-art facility. Call or visit Beacon Dental Group today, 1026 Blue Hill Avenue, Dorchester, Massachusetts, or call 617-282-2146 for a smile that lights the world.
A smart house run by a vengeful AI, a mute witness to an act of unspeakable evil. A breadfruit thief is haunted. A young man unwittingly creates a god. Giant crapos terrorize a community. A witch seeks revenge on her neighbors, and much more. The Piton Noir Writing Collective is thrilled to announce the release of the third book in their acclaimed anthology series, The Flying Crapo. Flying Crapo, Heroes and Monsters. Now available for purchase on Amazon.com. Get your copy today and embark on a journey filled with heroes, monsters, and the magic of the Caribbean.
Get ready for an electrifying thriller. A fearless New York attorney takes on corrupt corporate giants fighting for the powerless. Can this seasoned attorney and his team take down a monstrous company and its powerful leader? What will be the final verdict? What price will our heroes pay? Find out as you turn the pages of The Trust by Sam George. Get your copy of The Trust today from Amazon.com.
How much Dominican history do you know? Want to learn some fun facts? We have a great and fun way to test your knowledge and learn more about our history. Get your copy of Dominic Anu, Dominica in Puzzle. Fun for the whole family. Available now on Amazon.com. Visit pushpast10.com to learn more. Email us at dominicainpuzzle@gmail.com or call 877-698-9894.
is bad. Yeah. Yeah, that even motivates me even more.
All right, folks, thank you for staying with us through the commercial break. And thank you to our sponsors for supporting this week in interview. At the end there, we saw a little snippet of what one of the classrooms looked like, the inside of the classroom. And we definitely, it shocks. It's shocking to the senses. And so we wanted to play it, even if we didn't have a whole lot of footage, but to give you an idea, and that's the inside. And of course, we heard Ackroyd talk before the break that the roof needs replacing on at least on one of the wings. But I'm going to jump back into the conversation and go to Renick, and let's continue where Ackroyd left off and give the listeners an idea of what the objective of the St. Mary's Aid Fund is hoping to achieve.
All right, let me first begin by or continue the discussion with just one comment that came across. You're showing a little extract from of the building. Oh my God, this is bad, and that alone will tell the story. Alvin just commented about 125 great men or smartest men alive walk through the walls of this institution, this honorable institution. I want to take the opportunity and let it be known that we have two high schools at the time, male high schools, DGS and SMA. But because of the size and capacity of SMA, we could only accommodate just a few, although the majority of people who went to DGS, from my understanding, would have preferred to be an SMA alumni. But unfortunately, it has not been that way. Going forward, I always think that a thought is a thing, but it assembles from the mind, which has a creative power. And that thought has a ripple effect, especially if it touches something. And just by saying that, I'm referring to a conversation that I had with Alvin post SMA graduation 2024. Soon after the graduation event, he called me on the phone and we began a discussion as to how the event went, and based on the principal's presentation, we got excited, and especially regarding the roof. Personally, prior to getting involved with Alvin, I initiated something, but again, never materialized. But then when Alvin came on with this idea the second time, I decided, you know what? With faith and belief, let's get going. So practically with everything that was discussed, we decided, okay, to launch a committee. And I said, Alvin, we went to school, SMA, smartest men alive. We have that conviction that nothing is insurmountable. And based on the figure that you gave a while ago, there is nothing to hinder our progress in manifesting or the manifestation of that dream or the idea in getting that roof replaced without any hiccup. So we decided to form a committee, and we started with just 6 guys, 6 alumni. And we felt there was a need for expansion because there's a lot of creative potential and knowledge out there from the alumni. And by extension, we decided to make it open to everybody. So I went on that recruiting drive, and I started from my classroom, where I knew I can recall who sat next to me, who was in the left, who was in the right. And then I got that into action. Today, we have 18 of us in a committee. we decided, all right, with that number of persons that we have, we were first looking at a total of 450 EC dollars. And in order to get to that point, we put everything into order systematically. Well, we first had the thought of getting 30 people, 30 alumni, or old boys rather, and we would each get 10 old boys. So when we reckon that, you'd come up with 300 old boys. And we decided to put a figure to that amount, which was $30 every month for 12 months. That would create $360 US, we're talking about by way of knowledge. And with that equalization, we would have mustered that figure. But however, during that period of time, especially with the economic challenges, prices go up, and then we found ourselves looking for more money. So at that point, we decided, okay, how we are going to proceed. So everything has to be legislated, because I'll tell you one thing about asking for donation. There is a need for accountability and transparency. That's
Definitely.
two things that people are looking for, especially when they donate money. So we decided since July, and we just unfortunately launched the project in December, because there were a lot of red tapes, especially in creating the 501 situation. That for the banking aspect, we had to get the legality, put everything into action. So that took some time. Hence, we are 1 foot forward, and we're hoping to have that dream materialize or manifested, hopefully by September 2025. In this light, I'm making a clarion call to all, I don't want to say alumni, all old boys, wherever you are, in the diaspora, at home, wherever God has planted you at this moment. SMA has given you a wealth of knowledge to sustain yourself even up to today. And we're requesting that, in a sense of gratitude, don't bite the hand that feed you. Always return the favor. So in that vein, I'm asking, through that clarion call, every SMA old boy who wore the tie, who wore the crest, that I was, glad to have on my shirt jack at the time, because I felt honored, I felt privileged to make a contribution towards that endeavor. We need your financial help. We need your presence. It's open. It's not a selective few. As long as you figure you're interested, you have the time, the effort, and you can make that valid contribution to step forward. This project is something of great interest to me, because as we know, there are quite a few young people, as soon as they fall by the wayside, they turn to the negativities of life. And we know what the world is faced with. It's easy for the negative to attach themselves to idle hands. And if we allow our young people to just fall astray, then when we look back at time, we are going to live in regrets. And I know there are a number of students who would love to be in attendance at SMA, but because of the current situation, they have to find other means. Some of them might just sit idle by, not having a place to study. And they always say the mind is something that you need to use and not waste. So in that vein, we decided to pursue that effort in getting that roof replaced. And with all our might and belief and faith, I know it's possible. Nothing is insurmountable. It's possible. And we're going to get that happening through the efforts of each and everybody. And such is the case. I'm hoping that everybody out there, even you did not go to the SMA, and I know there are a lot of convent girls, if they had the opportunity to come to SMA, which is an all-boys school, if it was co-ed, they would most likely skip convent and DGS and turn to SMA, because the liking was always for SMA men. Smartest men alive, and I will conclude by saying that. Thank you very much.
As a DJ solo boy, I'm going to just leave that right there. But Miguel, I'm going to come to you. And you are the chairman of is it social? You
Yes,
volunteer, right?
yes.
So
So marketing, communications, and
market,
social media.
right,
Yes,
marketing, communication, and social means. And Renick said the initial target was 450,000 EC dollars, which is
yes,
just a little less than 200,000 US.
yes.
Um, has that number increased as a target? Or even the target sounds like it's something arbitrary. As the need, they say.
Yeah, so the goal is near what Rennick said, near
Okay,
the 200,000 US
200,000 US dollars, right?
and I'm gonna add to the conversation. I want to just add to what Ackroyd mentioned and what you asked him in terms of the importance of male development, right? And just the importance of um, just human development, period, and then just the male's contribution, right, to society and their growth and just community stability. And he mentioned good brothers, good fathers, good husbands, good citizens, and I echo that. And I think we're all examples of the education of the school. Uh, Rennick mentioned the legalities, the structure. This is a very structured um, group of individuals, and including the principal of the school, who is the recording secretary. We have Alvin Thomas, who is the chair, Patrick Alexander, and we have the 18, folks that are on the core committee represent a diverse group of individuals representing various fields, including digital marketing, civil engineering, um, Kamal, for example, and I'll name them. We have Stephen Astafan, who is a civil engineer, general contractor. We have Dave Bellet, electrical engineer. We have Kamal Benoit, an architect. Oswald Bertrand, who's in the healthcare sector. Ackroyd here is the an accountant, definitely. And I want to speak to Ackroyd because when we moved toward the establishment of the 5013C3, Ackroyd was definitely instrumental in that and strategizing, um, incorporating as well the organization in the state of Florida where I reside, along with Nigel Francis, who's the talent acquisition leader, and Sylvester Henry, who's also an accountant. So the three of us on the committee took the time to ensure that that was done on behalf of the group and established a bank account. And we're on our way. And we want to also emphasize that those of you that are listening this evening, you can help us move the needle, right? And I know Patrick definitely would love this. We have our site that's up that you can go to www.sma-alumnifund.org, right? And you can donate through various options, whether it be through a credit card option or PayPal, etc. So that's one through the site. There's also the option of, and the reason that we established the incorporation is to have a bank account on this side, right, in the United States where many of the alumni reside. And we have alumni that reside worldwide. So we have since, and I'll get back to the bank account, but launched a survey that many of our old boys, our alumni, have been filling out. We have alumni in Dubai. We have across the Caribbean, the UK, Canada, etc. Many are in the U.S. And so those that are in the U.S. Can contribute through Zelle, which if you're making a contribution through Zelle, it can be Zelled to SMA Alumni Fund at gmail.com. So definitely to this evening, we have a goal to get more donations, at least $500 more. And those of you who can do more, we welcome that as well. We also have an account in Dominica through the National Bank of Dominica and under the name SMA Alumni Fund as well. And those of you who are alumni on the island, or we say friends of the academy, so you don't have to be right an old boy, an alumni, friends of. because I have family members who, identify with the school and definitely want to play a role. We're also calling, organizations out there, nonprofit organizations, corporations to also, play a role in making a donation as well. I want to say I received a very good call from a classmate who leads one of a prominent business on the island who is going to commit to making a donation. So we call on other organizations to do the same. And to the point of Ackroyd, we have alumni everywhere, everywhere. Fabian Florent comes to mind. He's a Olympian. Uh,
Olympian.
yes, and also here in South Florida as well. Shelly, yes, baby, right? Signal Band, is an alumni of the academy as well. So Dice, right? 10-time Calypsonian, went to school at the academy as well during my time. So it goes on and on. But as I mentioned, we have a lot of folks, um, not a lot of folks, but we have folks on the committee that represent different areas. And so we're calling alumni from, the school has been, it's 93, April 4th, 2025 will be formally 93. We're coming up against 100 years old. So uh, I want to leave it at that for
But
now.
before you leave it at that, I want you to go back and just reiterate so that they have it clear. Um, do you have a website?
Yes. So again, so there are several ways you can donate through the website
Mhm.
www.smaalumnifund.org.
Sam, can you put it on the screen, please?
Okay.
Go ahead. So
You can donate through Zelle. Okay.
right,
Uh, Through the email SMAAlumniFund at
at
gmail
gmail.com.
dot com. You can also donate in Dominica through the National Bank of Dominica. All right. SMA Alumni Fund is the account number, the account name. And we also have the Mo Banking feature that's assigned to that as well.
Right. So, folks, I
Tony,
encourage you to
can I just jump in there a while,
go ahead.
very quickly? We are a structured organization. We have bylaws, we have conflict of interest documentation. We intend to, our bylaws say that we need to hold annual general meetings by the 31st of March every year. And our intention is to put out how much money we have collected so far. So we are not closed. We're going to be very open. I taught in the Caribbean and in Dominica as well on governance. And what in governance I always stressed on was accountability. If you are accountability, everything else falls into place. There is no corruption. You are transparent. People know things. And I always believe if you put information out there, to be honest information, people are more likely to give back more. So we're going to be very open. We'll be having annual general meetings, and then anybody can attend our annual general meetings, and we'll be providing how much funds we have collected. We've got to find a way of doing that, but we'll be doing that. So we are very structured. We are an incorporated organization. Okay, so we at SMA Boys we do things properly, and we are above board.
Right. And that's important. It's so important that is communicated clearly, that this is not a group of guys that just decide they want to just raise some funds and send you money. It goes into a black hole, and maybe tomorrow Accra get busy, so the rest of the guys are not as committed, and you don't know what happened to your money. Nothing come. No, they took the time to create a legal institution, and that legal institution has a structure. They have a board of directors. They have subcommittees with committee managers, the chairman of the various committees. They have gone ahead and have the ability to create their own bank account in the US that you can link to and via PayPal or Zelle. If you go on their website, SMA-ALUMNIFund.com, you will get the details there. If you want to make your donation by Zelle, the email address is sma-alumnifund@gmail.com. If you're out of the US and you're international, they have an account at the Dominica National Bank, and you can use Mo Banking, which is an app that allows you to move money internationally. The Mo Banking app is attached to that account. Again, the name of the account is SMA Alumni Fund. And I know, as you said, that the current principal of the St. Mary's Academy is part of your organization. He is actually the recording secretary. And I know also that to create accounts in Dominica, you have to give them so much documentation. And so the fact that you guys have been able to do that, folks, I really encourage you to support these gentlemen. The cause is a great cause. Dominica cannot afford to have a St. Mary's Academy that is wounded. We need to see a St. Mary's Academy that is vibrant and in full flight. And as they approach the 100th year anniversary, we would like to be able to see them celebrate from a campus that is just fully rehabilitated, a beautiful campus, not a campus that seems like it's being held together by shoestrings and wire and that kind of thing. They have to do it under those conditions, they will do it because the young men need the education. But I am certain that we have the means to make sure that not only the school is giving a good education to the young men, but it is doing it in grand style. It is doing it from a position of pride. And as they approach their 100th year celebration, and hundreds of thousands of alumni and young men that they have sent out to improve humanity, that we can say we were part of that because we helped SMA to launch SMA into its second 100 years of existence. So the first 100 years is drawing to a close, and so we want to launch the institution into the next century of its existence, well adapted to technology, artificial intelligence, and all of those things that we need to start incorporating ethics, the basics to bring that back, and to help maybe recalibrate the moral compass of our society. We need those institutions really really bad, and SMA provides the opportunity to have an organization that's already existing, that's already steeped in tradition, that already has a track record. So it's easier to enhance rather than and that can be used as an example for new organizations that has to come. So the appeal to you is to participate. I think because they have a target for September, it may be easier to say if you were to commit $100 a month or $50 a month to the cause. Before you know it, you will have contributed a few $100. If you have the ability to do $1,000, why not? I'm not saying no, but I'm saying that you can probably look at it in both ways. You can make a one-off contribution and forget about it. You have your $10,000 lying there, supply it, fine. They will not say no. But if you also are like most people can say, you know what? Yeah, I can do a $50 a month. I can do $100 a month because the foundation on which my life rests was created during my time at the St. Mary's Academy. Like me, I'm not an alumni of the St. Mary's Academy, but I have a lot of friends who are. And so the support doesn't have to come from you as just an old boy. We all recognize the needs in our island, and we all recognize the role that the SMA plays to address those needs. So let us be generous, okay? Let us be generous, and let us contribute. We know the church is not as robust as it once was. And so you can say, well, it's a Catholic school, let the church take care of it. No, it has been passed on to us and it has proven its value and its worth. Let us definitely reward that. We congratulate the 18 of you who are part of the committee. And folks, if you feel that you want to do more than just contribute money and you want to participate, I'm sure they will not turn you away. I'm sure they will welcome the hands. So, gentlemen, we are at 7 minutes after 9. I'm going to go round again, okay, and have you to give your closing remarks, a final appeal. I think it's very understood what you're trying to achieve. Your initial and urgent need right now is to get support so that you can help the physical plan, the physical building of the St. Mary's Academy. And then once we have that, we can start pouring in the soft part, the education part, the ethics part, the technology part, and all of that. So I'm going to go in reverse. Miguel, I'm going to start with you, and then we'll go to Renick and then to Ackroyd to close off our conversation tonight.
Thank you, and thank you once again for giving us the opportunity to share this important initiative to support our alumni. For those of us here and those of you who are friends, we thank you in advance for your support as well toward this initiative. I would deeply encourage you to connect with us. You may know one of the old boys on the committee, but if you don't, reach out to us at SMA Alumni Fund at gmail.com. We have a survey if you are an alumni that we encourage you to complete. And we also have a survey if you are a friend of the Academy and want to contribute, so that we can be structured about your intent to want to support, whether it's with your talent, treasure, right? They say, or your time. We'll take all three. And this goal toward almost 200,000 US, half a million EC, we look forward to the day where we are able to say we've done it, and put the institution in a space where it has the resources to be able to take on additional initiatives. So it's a great honor to be part of this and to support an institution and really a space that has poured into me, and it's a no-brainer to be able to give back in this way.
Miguel, before I let you go, you did mention that you are part of the administration of education institution as well.
Yes. So I serve as the executive director of student engagement and community partnerships and enrollment for Miami-Dade College, where we have 8 campuses in a county of almost 3 million residents with an enrollment of over 100,000 students. And I oversee quite a few things, including scholarship programs and, when it comes to sort of the development of students, we have a partnership with Miami-Dade County Public Schools that has an initiative that I compare to the Academy. It's called the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence project that, focuses on young men at risk of dropping out of elementary, middle, and high school, and supporting them with mentorship. And when I look at my, primary and secondary education, I compare it to the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence project. In Miami-Dade County.
Sorry, go ahead. Thought you were done. Go ahead.
Yeah, in Miami-Dade County, I also serve formally on the Citizens Independent Transportation Trust. It's an independent agency a board that oversees the half penny surtax that goes toward infrastructure improvement in the county. So whether it be, our Metro Rail, Metro buses, Metro Mover here in the downtown area where my office is situated, and just addressing the future of transit. So I'm proud to serve in a formal education role and also in roles outside of what I do at the college in order to better the community. And really to have a platform like this to also say, stay connected to my roots. Dominica, my high school, my village, my community, my family.
That is great. That is awesome. And so you're well placed as when we're done in really rehabilitating the physical plant, the physical building, to get involved and be part of that second 100 years that the St. Mary's Academy is going to sit in there. So congratulations on your achievement, and thank you for giving back. Renik, I'm coming to you to give us some closing remarks and to do your thing. You're a salesman, so let's let's sell it.
When I first launched, I came in with my presentation. There's one notable thing that I actually left off in terms of giving back. It's not something that my family enjoy doing, blowing the trumpet, but I just need to put it out there a little bit that we currently have a fund, a scholarship fund, in the name of my deceased mom, Ursula Bond Scholarship Fund. And that is under the administration of my brother, who lives in the US. By the way, I reside in Toronto. Okay. And when we first launched that scholarship funds, we were looking at 5 students every year, and we were providing $1,000 per student. But that fund has been on hold for the last 2 years because of little bits and pieces. But on a second point, just on the area of transparency and accountability, I just want to add a little essence to it, that we have the bishop's endorsement on that project. So there is no fear about people donating and be skeptical about where the funds are going. We have teachers who are on the board, especially the finance committee, where all eyes are open when it comes to money, so we can give the assurance that your money is safe. On another note, the amount may seem huge. It's like going to a store and seeing something for $400 in comparison to $399. We make it very easy. If we ask for a projection of a one-time payment of $360, we know the economical times, the tides are rough. We're just asking to make that little monthly contribution of $30. If you can give more, the more the merrier. In Dominica, we know what it is, the economical tide. $600 seems pretty hard to just release. Divided by 12, $50 a month. Just make that commitment. Just make that commitment. SMA has given you much more than $50 a month. It's like buying a sneaker for $125, sometimes $250. Put in $50 in order to uplift a young mind that might probably fall into the drain is better than buying a Nike sneaker. Although I'm not depriving you of your likes and your dislikes, but just look at the comparison. Come up. We have too many old boys in the world. We can make it. And I'm asking that all the boys that I've been in contact with, I've attached the letter. If you have not received the letter, just let me know. I will resend the letter. It provides all the information that you need to know about our purpose, our objectives, our plans. It's there. So just spread the love. That's what we do. We are a community. We went to that school where it's about humanity. Serve and to love. Orate, labora, study, and pray. We know that. And there's one thing I want to talk about SMA. Is there are 3 things for the smartest men alive. We have the will to win. We have the desire to succeed and the urge to reach our full potential. And there is no way in this present age that we are going to fall back and not get that project done. It's going to be done through faith and through belief. And I'm extending that clarion call once again. All SMA boys, wherever you are, please unlock your treasury, unlock your wallets, and make that valuable contribution. You're not making it for me or the members of the 18 committee. You're making it for our future generation in Dominica. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thanks for the sponsors. And we look forward to being back with you sometime in the future. God bless.
Thank you, Renick. And of course, as you listen to you and Miguel talk, even in the committee, you have technical ability, you have contractors, you have architects, you have engineers. So it's not even, well, we collect the money and we get a contractor and they do that. We have folks who can manage the product, who can design what is going to be there, or at least comment on the design and track the construction and get involved, and so folks, I don't think you could ask for a better structure and a better way in which to develop that confidence that you know where your money is going to go and you know it's going to be put to good use. Akroyd, I'm coming to you, and in coming to you, I'm going to say, how difficult is it to get 1,000 past students of SMA to be part of this movement at one way or the other? Because 1,000 members donating $100 each, that's $100,000. That's halfway to your goal, And I say, if you can get 1,000 and each one of them bring one person, that's 2,000. And the 2,000 put in $100, that's 200,000. It's as easy as that. It's not mind-boggling. It's not insurmountable. It's easy because we have so many folks who have experienced the value of SMA. And so if let's set a target in numbers. Let's say, okay, guys, let's try to get 500 people engaged. Let's try to get this 500 to bring one person to them. It's 1,000. Let's move to 2,000. Each person committing $100. I mean, World Creole Music Festival is hundreds of dollars for a season ticket. So it is absolutely doable. So Akroyd, I'll give you the opportunity to take it home with the last of the group. Let's wrap up the conversation. Let's appeal to those folks. The grammar school and the DGS have always collaborated. There's a rivalry, but Gramax came out to them. Grammar Academites, we used to rule football. And every time Dominic DGS, the grammar school and the SM Academy has come together, we've produced organizations that have just ruled things. And so the appeal is there to even if you did not go to the St. Mary's Academy, I am representing the altar. The grammar school. Let's say, guys, let's get behind the cause, So Akroyd, take it home.
Yes, just quickly. It wasn't only SMA boys who benefited. I don't know if you remember, SMA had classes for other persons to attend, right? So we had other persons who benefited from SMA by attending afternoon and evening classes. Okay.
Yes.
So that's sort of point. And if we look at the colleges here, they have what they call endowment funds. How these endowment funds come about is the persons who have went through the universities and they say, okay, I went through that university. Somebody else put money there so that I could attend that university. The structures were good. We had good teachers. So I am now going to put money back into the organization, to the university, so other persons can benefit. I mean, these Ivy League universities here, they have billions of dollars. And they got that money because the boys and the men and women who attended these universities, they were successful. You can't quantify success by only money, but those who had the cash were able to put money back into the universities, and now they have billions of dollars. So we're saying the same thing now for the SMA boys and non-SMA boys and contributors, that it is not only about, I went through the SMA and that is it. Then they can take care of themselves. I took care of myself when I went to SMA, so others can do it. No, you do not take care of yourself, because there are never any free lunches. Somebody has to sacrifice something to give you. Okay, and economists talk about opportunity costs. So someone sacrifices, instead of giving that dollar to someone else, they give it to you, so you could attend the St. Mary's Academy. So you should not be selfish. You may not have, as we say, you may not have $1,000 to give one time, but as you said, Tony, I'm not going to over what you said, Tony, because you said so well that I can't say it any better. Okay, so those of you who can contribute, whatever you can, it is for the future. It is not for me, okay, because hey, I am an elderly, I'm in the youth of old age now, you know what I'm saying? So it's not
I
for
like
me.
that.
It's not for me, okay? Um, my children have adult children, they're out in Dominica, but you never know. My grandchildren may have to go back to Dominica. You never know these days, okay? So think of it that way, that you are contributing for the future. And we need um, good men. When I say good, we need upright men, okay, leaving the St. Mary's Academy. Not only that, if the school is back, the structure is great. We can also bring back the other evening classes for other people can benefit. Okay, so it's not only for SMA
Exactly.
boys. All
Exactly.
right, so all other people can benefit. um, and so we need your funds, we need your assistance, and we also need your support, your moral support, your what else support you can give to us to get us going, because sometimes you can say, well, boy, no, it's difficult, it's a drag. So we also need the moral support. We also need for you to push us as well. Although we will push in ourselves, but we need that support, and we're hoping that with that show tonight, and we want to thank you, Tony, for although you're an SMA boys, grammar school boy, we had our rivalry, and they were good rivalries. Okay, very good rivalries. When SMA was playing grammar school, whether in football or cricket, I mean, even the convent high school girls used to attend to
Yes.
support. Yeah, you remember that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that there
definitely.
was, yeah. So again, we want to bring back, not only about the physical structure, but to bring back the camaraderie, to bring back people living together happily. So we want to do that. And if we are the catalyst at SMA to do that, we not only want it to be at SMA only, we want to spread the good news as well to the entire country.
Yeah, thank you for that. And you made a very good point that helping to restore the physical building of SMA is not just for SMA and the students. Because with an institution like that in the middle of Roseau, you can now, I mean, school is from 8 to 1 or whatever times they have now. After that, you can bring a whole other cadre of people, have adult education, have technology classes, all of those things. If you happen to do a nice computer lab, folks can
Yeah,
come
we
in
have.
from the community. So that's what we're saying, that contributing towards restoring the physical structure is not just for SMA students. It's actually an institution and one more resource that's available that we can now use, because when there are no students there, let's say it's idle. We don't have a public library. If SMA has a strong library of computers, I'm sure they would not turn away a student from another school coming in to do some
Mhm.
research at their library. So the appeal is not only to past students of SMA. And of course, we know that if SMA produces good men, those good men turn around and make good husbands and good fathers. So everybody benefits
Mhm.
from the contribution of institutions like the St. Mary's Academy. So, folks, you know, as we said, it's not difficult. Akred brought up a very good point about endowments. We as we turn the corner on our development as a country, and we move away from the economics of going to beg for aid and going to beg for loans, we have to look at models like that, where the institutions can benefit from an endowment. If 10 folks who have the means come together and create an endowment of $1,000 each, that's $10,000 that now can be invested and allowed to grow, and might take a little bit of time, but in 10 years time that 10,000 turns into 100,000, and so on and so on. So we have to look at those models, because we have to move our country out of that post-colonial era into the 21st, 22nd century. And that is the kind of system that we have to have, where we can collect our resources together, pool our resources together, set goals, set targets, and show that we have the wherewithal to to make it happen. And so the goal is not a tough goal; it's just 200,000 US dollars, um, and the cause is such a magnificent cause that it makes the amount look even smaller. You know, if you have to imagine a Dominica with a broken down St. Mary's Academy, and the alternative is to have a splendid campus for the St. Mary's Academy, I think $100 by 1,000 people, 2,000 people. I alone have what, over 3,000 friends on Facebook. So it's not difficult to get 1,000 people or 2,000 people to follow a cause, you know. And so I encourage you folks to go onto the site, the St. Mary's, the SMA Alumni Fund.com, okay? SMAAlumniFund.com. You can email them at St. Mary's Alumni Fund at gmail.com. And you can also get the information. That same email is where you can make your Zelle contributions. They have an account at the National Bank in Dominica, your Mo banking app. Again, the name on the account is SMA Alumni Fund. And just make your contribution. Don't wait, don't put it off. Just make your contribution. And if you have to break it up into small parts, that's fine. If you can make a one time, that's also fine. But I think it's a worthy cause. And gentlemen, I want to congratulate you and thank you at the same time for this wonderful initiative, and also for blessing my program with your presence. You have an open invitation to come back and keep us up to date as your progress goes along. And I wish you all the best in this wonderful initiative. Good night,
Thank you.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
Tell you one other thing.
Sure, go ahead.
Basketball was in Dominica was initiated by the St. Mary's Academy.
That is very true. You know, one of my best friends, Mr. Clancy Robert Zeb, went to the SMA. He's from Castle Bruce, so he brought basketball into Castle Bruce.
Mm.
And there are folks from Castle Bruce, because of basketball, that got scholarships to come to the US to go to college. So that's what
Right.
I mean. It's not
Mm.
just SMA for SMA. You know, it touches every aspect of our lives in Dominica. So contribute. Thank you for bringing that up, Akard. It's certainly was important.
Yeah. Well, on behalf of the committee and all SMA old boys and friends and family and well wishers, want to thank you, Tony, for a job well done, and your producer. We say thank you very much. It was a great opportunity for us tonight to be able to say what we're about and to assure the public that we are a committee which thrives on accountability. We will put the information out there so everyone knows exactly what we're doing, how much funds we have collected, um, and rest assured that the money we collected will go to the purpose it is intended to. Just finally, Steve Astafan was an SMA boy and an engineer. He has been really instrumental on the ground in ensuring that the cost estimates, the quantities were accurate, and he continues to play a major role in ensuring that when we start doing the project, he'll be there doing his voluntary service and ensuring that the project goes according to plan. Okay, so
That's great. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Definitely among the alumni of the St. Mary's Academy, you have all of, how did Miguel nicely put it, the talent, the treasure, and the time to see
mm.
this through successfully. So Godspeed, young man, and thank you again.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Yeah, good night.
Blessings. All right.
So folks, I hope you enjoyed the conversation that we had tonight. The St. Mary's Academy, SMA. I hear Rennie saying SMA is for smartest men alive. In grammar school, we had a different definition of the acronym, but again, it's rivalry. When I went to sixth form college, I sat next to uh, young men that were educated at the St. Mary's Academy, and we at the Dominica Grammar School, and we became very good friends. There was always that little bit of a competition because you didn't want the guys from the other school to do better than you, and that was healthy because we challenged and spurred each other on. We didn't have cliques to say this is a clique of SMA boys and this is a clique of grammar school boys. We mixed, and that was tremendous. Alvin Thomas, thank you for putting this program together tonight and for the work that you do. Folks, enjoy the rest of your week, and we will do this again next week. If you are in Dominica, I wish you all the best. And anyway, as a matter of fact, our heartfelt sympathy goes out to the family and the friends of the folks who succumbed to the aviation incident that took place in Dominica on Sunday. A small aircraft, we understood, um, did not make it out alive. They were, and they think they've recovered the four occupants of that plane. They did not survive that crash, and so our thoughts go out to their family and friends, and of course the Dominican people who are sure are suffering some level of trauma from that incident taking place in Dominica. So, folks, there we have it. Says thanks, Mr. Drago, always supporting and providing a platform to help the cause. Thank you, Didi, for always being there on this week in interview, and for all the other folks who didn't come in tonight, but I'm sure who were part of the program tonight. Good night, folks, and as I said, have a wonderful rest of the week.
Thank you.